Good morning. Welcome to Fallawsophy. I'm your host, Jennifer Fallaw-Doering, and today we're going to go over some Jentel that I got yesterday so that we have it on this show. And we're going to do some questions and answers from the gallery. So I'll let you guys know when you can start asking your questions. Good morning, everyone. I see there's a lot of people in chat today. And the color is just quite, I don't even know. I don't even know why. It's weird. I got to get out of this little office room and get into a better lighted room. But all of the bedrooms are taken. So it looks like there is some word circulating. There is some word circulating right now that Iraq is supposed to post a rate by the 10th for their budgets and payrolls and things. We'll see how that goes. Yesterday, when I was putting the Jentel out on Real News Live with Mike and Jen on Rumble, I got that actually it was Sunday that I got this when I was talking to a friend, that it's going to kind of be like the same situation as when Kuwait revalued, or they came out and tell you, well, nothing's happening right now, or it's not going to happen for a while, and then boom. So we're keeping an eye on that as far as the RV goes. And of course, we're all been watching Iraq because they're supposed to be the kingpin and they're supposed to kick it all off. Rates behind the scenes are still rising. They're moving. Cryptocurrencies are moving. That in itself tells you that something's about to happen. But we're still in the waiting phase, and everybody's trying to give you as much information as they can get, but there's not a whole lot out there because a lot of people are under NDA, and we knew this time would come. So, but because people are under NDA, that's good news as well. So, a lot of people saying we're going to have a good Christmas. That, in my opinion, is true. So as far as word circulating, that's what I've been hearing. Okay. I don't know if I could change this light. I don't look like a vampire. I'm all freaked out because Mike Barra keeps telling me I look like a vampire. Nope. Changing that light. Oh, color. There's some color. Let's do that. All right. Now I look like a floating head. I don't know. We'll stick with it. Who cares? All right. I'm not a vampire. I'm totally anti-vampire, if anybody wants to know. All right. Here we go. This is Jentel, Interdimensional Meditation for 12/2/24. Got it yesterday. I met with Archangel Michael, Gabriel, Jesus, and the team in my field by my tree on the 6th level of heaven in meditation. Okay? Which is really cool. I'm walking down this slope to this big, long, football-sized green field. And I can see my dress moving, and it's that pink satin, which I don't wear pink satin, but it was really pretty. But both last two Jentels I've been in that color, and so I'm hopeful it's a positive color, that positive things are coming. Okay. And as I'm walking down in this field and I look up, it's almost like it comes into view. You see this line, this big group of archangels coming towards me, and in front of them is Jesus. Quite the scene. And they approached, and Jesus started talking right away. And he said, "All is well. The transition team is ready." Now, I don't know what team he's talking about. I don't know if he's talking about Trump's team or for the RV, like the financial team worldwide. Within this year, the changes will take place. This was under the RV news section, so I'm hoping it's that. I mean, I don't know if this political or financial, but I think it's financial. And then I start thinking, okay. And he shows me this long receipt, and it's about, wide receipt. Looks like a big Costco receipt. And it's not a normal looking receipt. We've got it's almost like transaction numbers and amounts, but I couldn't really see that part. And so I'm looking for the date immediately on this thing. And what I believe I saw, first I saw 2024. So it was written out like you've got the month, the day, and then the full year. And then I tuned in and I'm trying, and this is where you can put your own numbers in. So grain of salt with this. It's very hard to read anything in meditation, okay? But I believe the date was 12/19/24. It could have been 12/9/24. It could have been 12/29/24. But the 12 and the 9 and the 24, 2024, is what I saw. And there was something next to the 9. I don't know if it was a 1, a 0, or a 2. Good news is we got a 12 and we got a 24. Good news, okay? Good enough, I'll take it. And then Jesus said, "Watch the world markets and trade." Things are going to happen there. Things are going to change. It's going to be our sign that, yes, this is moving. This is happening. Then he said, I think I thought of XRP. I don't remember if I said anything. And he said, but he said XRP will rise to 9. All right, before I say this, I am not a financial advisor. This is all psychic information from meditation and from Jesus, okay? I could be wrong. Take it with a grain of salt. I am not telling you to go buy anything, to invest in anything. Everything that you receive from me, any guidance, all the decisions you make for your life, is up to you. Completely your choice. All right. XRP will rise to $9 and stall for a while. I don't know how far it goes from there. I'm just looking at a certain point, a block of time. So XRP will rise to $9 and stall for a while. Okay, so then we get down to the political news. And I said, Biden, what's going on with Biden pardoning his son? And he said, it will be reversed. I don't know if you can do that, but maybe he didn't do it right. We'll see. And he said, new charges found or new charges filed. He said, the war attempts have failed. So that's not a real big concern anymore. A couple weeks ago, we were all concerned about that. Now that just kind of like quiet down. I mean, where did that go? Trump is behind the scenes, like I told you. Pin in that. ever since he got elected, he's been behind the scenes making deals, talking to foreign countries, telling everybody what they need to do, or he's going to like come after them. All right. And people don't really argue with him much because they know he means what he says and he says what he means. And so suddenly we don't hear much about the war, World War III anymore. Okay, so then the war attempts have failed. There will be a rise in XLM next. Like I said, do what you want with your money. I'm not telling anybody to do anything. Just getting what I got. Okay, so we've got the XRP rising right now. And then that's going to get up to like $9, he said, and that's going to stall. And then the other one starts to rise, XLM. And people are saying that XLM is associated with silver. Okay, so I didn't get a time block on this. So if we've got XRP going up, we've got currency rates rising, and we're getting closer to the inauguration. And then we get a stall in XRP, but then we get a rise in XLM. What does that mean? Silver goes up, right? Where would silver go up? Then you've got Trump, who came out the other day and was talking about the BRICS nation and how he didn't like it. And, if they think they're going to have a unified currency that's going to block out the dollar, whatever. Everybody has another thing coming. Okay. Which is surprising to all us because we're like, I thought you wanted BRICS. But, Trump, he's always got the optics. He's got to put the optics out to make sure everybody doesn't think he's involved with anything that's going to happen. Okay. But I was thinking about it. And all along we talk, we have all this time to talk, we have all this time to figure things out, and we think we know what's going on. Yeah, but we don't. Could the USA eventually join BRICS? Well, it really doesn't sound like Donald Trump, does it? Donald Trump is going to want our currency to be number one. He's not going to be happy with having some connected, BRICS currency instead of the dollar. He's going to want a dollar that's gold backed. He's always talked about going to gold, precious metals, and he's going to want it to be the best. He's going to want people to want dollars. So, if that is true, then he could say, let's say BRICS does do that. He could say, well, no, we're going to do. The United States has so many resources. And you need the United States to do business with. How about we just have our own dollar? And let's say we'll call it the USTN. And we're going to back that by precious metals. And we're not going to let you do business with us unless you use it. And that's going to be the highest value. Or close to it. So you're going to want to use it. That sounds like Donald Trump. And if he is the chief financial officer of the alliance and all of that, and the goal was to be sovereign nations have their own money. Oh, there we go. Thank you. Love Trumpy. XRP equals gold. XLM equals silver. XDC equals copper. So we've got XRP going up. And we've got XLM next. They know we're going to gold. And so that means we separate from the fiat system. So there is no debt. I do hope he doesn't keep calling it the dollar. I do hope he changes the name somehow so we don't have debt. But basically, so we're not going to have debt. We're going to go to gold. Could there be a bunch of crashes, or could there be? I don't know. I don't know how that's going to go. But just to me, putting 2 and 2 together, I see it coming. I think this is what we're going to do. Now, the RV window. I've been talking about this for a long time. People are like, what are you talking about? You know anything? Go sit down. Well, just listen to Mama for a second, okay? Sometimes I get good ideas. All right? Now, if we're going to make money on this thing, at this window. Because if that happens, and we have we're a sovereign nation, and we have our own money, and we're not connected to the fiat system and the central banks and all that stuff anymore. We've got this USTN or whatever they're going to call it that is eventually worth more than the other foreign currencies. The RV window is when the other currencies go up, and ours has not yet. So it would make sense that they would do that first, even if BRICS does do it and say, well, screw you, Donald Trump, and it's probably in the plan. And they do go up, or all these other currencies revalue. If that happens while Biden's in office still within the next month and a half, we could see some crashes, okay? So our currency the dollar has to be low, and the other currencies, foreign currencies, have to be high, and that's your RV window. That's where you make money. That's where you get a lot of dollars for the exchange. If the USA goes to gold first, you don't make money. And if Donald Trump wants the USA's currency to be higher than the other currencies, which it probably is, you don't make money. So we've got this RV window. So it makes sense that things and rates are moving to get to a place, because you've got these contracts. You've got agreed upon rates that are going to be given out. We've got people in the background waiting to receive those rates. Everybody's under NDA. Talking about currencies. Bonds, yeah. That's in the deal too. You've got these exchange centers who are contracted with the U.S. Treasury and however else it is worked around the world, probably same deal, who said, okay, this is what the exchange centers and the U.S. Treasury, and so we can pay the employees, and we got, everybody's been promised this or that. All right, well, we've got to get to a place where we can justify that, because you've got these tiered rates that can be paid out. All right, you've got your street rate, you've got a behind a bank screen, behind the scene bank screen. Then you've got your exchange center rate, and then you've got between country rates from treasuries. This way I see it. So we have all these agreed upon rates. Why the hell else would they even want to do it if they're not going to make money at every tier? So if we have all these agreed upon rates, and we see them moving now, we know that our RV window is coming. And if Trump is putting out information about not liking what BRICS is doing, okay, that puts him in a position to come up with a solution, should they do that. I believe that that is our gold-backed money. And, the dollar has been what the reserve currency, if that's how you refer to it, of the world. Everybody uses the dollar, okay? I think Trump's going to want to somehow maintain that position. And so I think he'll put out the true numbers of what's real, the USA really has, and what the dollar is really worth, and it's going to go way up. Okay? And everybody's going to want to use the dollar. He's going to make sure. So we got our RV window pretty soon, especially if BRICS is moving and wanting to do something. We need to keep an eye on that. Donald Trump's coming into office in a month and a half. They got to get this done this month. That's what I think. That's what I think. So, back here in the Jentel, we've got the XRP going up to 9, and then we have XLM next. That's precious metals. Somebody knows something. That's what's going on. They know we're going to go to gold. When we go to gold, these are going to probably skyrocket. That's logically. I don't really know how that works, but logically, I'm saying if they're connected to gold and silver, going to be good. So it could, $9 could just be like some kind of holding point until that happens, and then they go through the roof, which would be nice. That'd be nice. And so after that, I just looked at Jesus. I didn't know what to ask, and I said, "Have we won?" And he smiled really big, and he said, "Yes, the world will see this winter." All right. This winter. All right. So winter starts what? December 21st? So we're looking around Christmas time into, what is it? March 21st, 22nd, something like that. That is going to be a time of big change on many levels. So everybody's all like, is it going to happen today? Is it going to happen tomorrow? I'm hanging by a thread over here. When is this going to happen? It's like, well, nobody really knows. Okay, everybody's trying. Okay, but I'm thinking, from watching what's going on, we got to get this done at least this month, or at least before he gets in office. But if it's the alliance's goal to show, so let's that the old system isn't working anymore, and that everything's corrupt, and that Biden is an idiot, and it's very important who you vote for because everything go to crap really fast. If BRICS goes to gold, they'll probably do that like in January. What do you think? I don't know. Because he would still be in, and he would sit there and do nothing. I just don't know what they're going to play. They could do something where that happens and then they have to pull everybody out and it's, like the key posts and everything goes down. But if they've got it handled and everything can flow smoothly and they can get that done, I don't know. They still have to expose the fraudulent elections. They still have to expose all this stuff. I mean, I don't know if they plan to do that when he's in office with all these new people he's going to put into the courts and everywhere and all the agencies. I don't know. But right now, just looking ahead and looking at everything that's happening, I'm thinking that RV window is a small period of time. We've got to be at the right trigger point to do that. That's probably what's been holding Iraq back. Somebody's probably telling them, oh, we need everything in place. Okay, go. Kingpin triggers everything. So I'm hopeful for this month. That's how I figured things out. Let's play. If this is true and that's true, then this must also be true. But I don't really know. Sounds probable to me. All right, let's get some questions in there. You guys can start asking me questions. I really don't have anything to talk about today. Let's do this. Ask me anything. Make it interesting. What do you want to know? And, let's refrain from the, when am I going to get my house? When is this going to happen? Maybe we get some interesting questions in there, something spiritual, something interesting. Yeah, the actor playing Biden does deserve an Oscar. I think there's been like 4. I really do. That's really dark in here again. Tell you what, after the RV, I'm going to set up like an actual studio. Have all the lighting just right. Everything perfect. So I just walk in, sit down, everything's perfect. So that I can do because I'm still going to do my shows. Can't stop doing that. Before I was doing these podcasts, I've been doing radio for 14 years. So before I was seen, I was still talking, still teaching, still telling stories. I'm working off our calendar. What we know the day is right now. People are like, well, with the other calendar, I'm like, I don't, that really just gets confusing, and I don't know anything about that. Yeah, XLM is still at a very good price. I didn't hold any crypto till yesterday. Now, I'm going to try. So this is going to be like the currency thing, isn't it? Now that I'm got some. So, just get a little bit more. Get a little more. I'm going to try not to do that. All right, let's see what we got here. And what rings through my ears now is I can fix the economy in 24 hours? Didn't he say that? Hasn't Trump said that before? That he could fix it all in 24 hours? And so think about that. As if it's just some idea he's got. How about we go to gold? And we just happen to have it all ready to go and everywhere and just roll it out. Really. That was the plan all along. You can't just do that. You have to print the money. There's so much work to be done to even have that currency ready. And you're not even thinking about coins. Nobody's ever said anything about coins. You got new coins, you got new currency, you got to get it everywhere, and there's a whole bunch of other stuff to do that we don't even know about. So we're just waiting for everything to move and to be in the right spot to trigger this event. And we've never been at this place before. I'm thinking this is our month. Got to get that RV window. So something has to happen internationally first. And that's probably why Iraq has been the kingpin. I'm just looking for a question that I know something about. I mean, I could ask. I have no idea. Martial law in South Korea? I'm thinking that would be a bad thing. I'm hearing that's a bad thing. I don't know. Just looking for something. I don't know what the pango would be worth. Larry Bakemark, Christine Packer wants to know if you're getting her Telegram messages. Oh, I'm way back here, huh? You guys probably already did that. All right, so we got some medical questions. Migraines. Migraines are a mystery. Half the time. Jenny. You have tension, and it's coming actually from the upper back and the neck. It's coming up and around your head. So focus on getting the tension down back there. Maybe things will pop back into place, but it really is related to your neck. Pain in your feet, Lori. Arches are falling. Better shoes. You need better shoes with arch support. So they've either fallen and you got to, yeah, probably need to get some of those insoles. People are talking amongst themselves. I don't see auras. I'm fascinated by everything, but like fascinated by people that see auras and have the colors and everything. I don't see any colors. What I see is the energy. So if someone stands next to like a lighter, like a white wall, and they stand there long enough, I can see like an outline, a clear outline around their body. And when I look at the horizon, I can see it around trees, things like that. I always thought it was just my eyes because I have, vision problems. But I remember this one time. So when I had the kids take their catechism classes, they had to catch up. Katie had to be, they had to get their first communion and all that. This is also directly after that, when I started teaching the catechism classes. So that was a whole fun time in our life when I was widowed. But I went there because the kids said, well, why do we have to receive the sacraments if, have you received them all? And I'm like, well, I haven't been confirmed in the Catholic Church. And so they're like, well, why do we have to do it? If you didn't have to do it, I'm like, well, I'll go do it too. So I'm in adult RCIA classes with everybody who wants to get married, who's converting. Had a ball. I'm the chick in the back of the room. They didn't like. Well, they liked me, but I'm the one with the weird questions from the back there. What if heaven's another dimension? Like, and the priest would get so mad at me. Jennifer, this is not the place to ask those questions. I'm like, then where should I ask them? All right. So, and then pretty soon he just stopped calling on me. Just stop calling on me. Anybody? Anyone question? I'm back there. I have a question. So one day, this is why I know we had a good priest. Okay. One day he's standing next in the front of the classroom, big room. And there's a white wall behind him. And he's talking. And he's getting really passionate about what he's talking about. He's teaching us something. And the energy around his body that was normally about like that far away just started growing. And I could, he's moving. It's like trails. I'm like, am I having a stroke? Like watching this. And I'm like, and then it hit me. I'm like, wow, this man's really divine. This man's pulling in that divine energy. He's pushing it out because when he was talking about those tops, it was just growing. And it was clear. It was like what it looks like to me. It's kind of like when you look at you see humidity rising off of the road in front of you when it's hot, or heat rising off of a barbecue. You can still see it, but it's clear. It's a little bit lighter. That's what it looked like. But I knew that was a good priest, Father Roger. Yeah. But I never see colors or anything. I do see colors when my thing is to look inside the body, almost like X-ray vision. And kind of like in medical drawings or like medical films, I'll zoom in on a certain area and tell you what I see happening. Okay, I see a blockage in that vein, or I see, you've got this piece of metal in there, so basically it's like X-ray vision along with Jesus. And we start at the top of the head and go down, and I can see in there. That's my thing. Some people are really good at, they'll actually see auras on people when they walk up and they tune in, and they'll see different greens and browns and blues and everything. I've had people tell me, oh my God, your aura is so green. And I'm like, is that good? That's good, right? That's like healing. I'm healing right now? Cool. Right on. So, figures, Joe, that you would ask such an awesome question. I love questions like that. And thank you so much for your donations after the show. Joe, very nice of you. Thank you. All right, here we go. Mom, this is Christine, my mom Louise. She's a widower. Man in the future. There will be two. So what this person is kind of like a flirty companion. And they do things together, go to dinner, attend events. She hangs out with one for a while. I don't know if he gets sick. I don't think he passes. I feel like he goes away, like the family pulls him away somewhere. So I don't know if he had to go into a home or something. But then there's another one that comes along, and that one's more solid, and he stays longer. So that's what I'm seeing for that. Well, that depends on what the figure of the person looks like. Sometimes you'll have your guide with you in your dreams. I've seen that before. I actually ask Archangel Michael and Gabriel to be with, like, accompany me in my dreams, because I'm always on some kind of adventure. Always. It's like there's something to find, there's something to do, and there's all these people around, and but I have seen many times for myself personally this blonde woman, and many times I thought it was my mother with me, but it's not. And that she was with me. Okay, let me just ask you a question real quick before I get off. Your grandfather's been there a couple times. I don't think you're getting the full image of him because of too much mind chatter in your dreams, too many things to work through. So it's like the scenes are flipping too fast. Like you're not really focusing in on that. There's something stopping you from that. But he has been in your dreams a couple times. Yeah, this blonde woman. And then I met her, my guide, one time. I think her name is Louise. And I usually deal with my guide, Nancy, but Nancy's an angel. She's the one that crosses the spirits over. But this one guide, like kind of a short blonde woman, got a little weight on her. She was there that one dream when I learned what an empath was, when Faith was a baby, my firstborn, and I standing in this field, soft rolling fields of long blades of grass, and the wind is blowing and it's moving. I really kind of like water, and I don't even know what that meant. Then I overhear, I'm standing there next to this woman, and maybe 100 feet away, I see this full grown woman with dark hair. Well, Faith was a little blonde baby. And she's standing at a podium, and she's looking out across the waving grass in the field. And she has like somebody took a permanent marker and wrote all these words all over her face. And she's talking. And I said, "Who is that?" And the woman said, "That's Faith." Why does she have words written all over her face? And the lady said, "Because she's an empath." And I remember waking up from that dream, 24 years ago, and thinking, I don't even know what that is. Well, maybe she meant she's empathetic. And it was years later on the internet that I heard somebody else refer to, oh, I'm an empath. And I went, what? Oh, God. Then I learned what it was, and I'm like, yeah, she's total empath. Yeah. That totally makes sense. Yeah. But I learned that in a dream from my guide who was there. So we've got all kinds of people that come into dreams. But like the thing is, the trick to that is it's the easiest way for a loved one to visit you, but they have to hold your attention. So a true visitation is usually very quick, short, to the point, because our emotions take over the creation of that scene as soon as we realize that they're there. So usually they'll come right up to you. They'll either smile, tell you they love you, give you the message, whatever it is, as soon as they can get it out, because they know this is a created state that they've stepped into. It's a created like reality that you've created for that dream. And your mind is creating with thought, and every thought that you have will create the scene. And so if you get emotional when you see them, you could see them and you start thinking, oh my God, you're here, which I've had that happen to me. And then all of a sudden, and they tell you something. But if you're like really sad or really, oh my God, I've seen a ghost kind of reaction, or all your emotions come to the surface, you could experience something like them being mad at you, or them in pain, or them crying, or something like that. But that's all the emotional creation in the dream. Yes, it was a legitimate visitation, but what they said first before you took control of it is the message. So it's usually pretty short, sweet. No, no ice age coming soon. Trump's trip to France. I have no idea. That has something to do with money, tariffs. France is a problem right now. That's all I'm getting on that. So that's almost kind of like, yeah, I'll just show up there. Trump, he really is like the best leader that we could have at this point in history. What? Oh, I was thinking you're talking about my Ron. Probably not. Um, let's see. Nancy. Yeah, I think I'm seeing 2.5 weeks. I just felt a surge of joy from you. I don't know when this happens. I don't know how long it takes to get there. But considering what's going on and what's going to happen end of January, I would say, and the rate at which it's rising, I mean, now it could stall, but I would say that we're on our way there. I mean, I don't think it would take too long, but I don't know anything about crypto, so I'm just going off psychic information. Really? You had an out of body experience when you were a child. Well, I'd be able to do that again. It's Mary. See, I don't like that. It scared the crap out of me. I had that happen once. Okay. I thought I was dead. And I'm like, no, 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 I'm not dead. Get back in there. I'm getting back in there now. Hated it. Some guys, some of you guys are just way too brave with that. That's why I like my meditation, my projection of consciousness. I can do it while my eyes are open, looking at you right now. Shoot off somewhere else and do it. I have to have some kind of control. That astral projection, that out of body experience, I felt like I had no control over that. I did not like that at all. But if you want to do that, I am not the best person to teach that. But there are very good people out there that know a lot more about that than I do. Will you be able to do that again? Yes, you can. You do have the ability to do that. There's too much programming. A lifetime of programming getting in the way. You're gonna have it's a lot of mind work to do to open that up again. So I would get with somebody who teaches that. Make sure they keep it divine. It's really hard. A lot of astral projection people are very universal with their beliefs, which is okay, but just make sure that they're and you're really the thing I don't like about astral projection is because you're coming out of the body. I don't know if it's a subdimension or a dimension, but I don't know if it's like in between dimensions, but it's common ground. There's good guys and bad guys there. And so, me personally, I wouldn't attempt anything like that if I didn't have my team with me. That's why I've always got a team, and I teach everybody to have their archangels, have Jesus, have a good, strong faith and connection with God, because there's all kinds of things out there in different, in betweens and subdimensions and dimensions, and we've got a multiverse going on here that you have no idea are there, and that can be dangerous. Oh, what time is it? Let's see. Yeah, I gotta get going. Let's see if I can find one more. T21, T12. Does it mean anything? I'm not picking it up. It's probably more of a personal thing if it means something to you. But here's the thing with like the angel numbers and license plate numbers and signs and things like that. If you're looking for it, not a legitimate sign. It has to, if something hits you all of a sudden, and it's just like, because like, let's say you get 222, everything will be okay, right? So let's say you see your first 222 and you're not looking for it, and you're like, oh, that's odd. It was a receipt of mine today. And then later on, you just happen to say, what time is it? And you look over and it's 222. It wasn't that, is it 222 yet? You see, you can't look for this stuff. Otherwise, it's fake. It's not a real sign or communication. So but if you're just like, so once you get one, you kind of have to say, okay, awesome, filed, neat. But go about your day and don't be looking for it, because if it keeps hitting you everywhere you go, 222, 222, 222. Yes, part of that is like, okay, somebody says, so now you know somebody with a red truck, and now you see red trucks everywhere. Okay, that's part of it, that you're noticing that sequence of numbers. But take a look at how and when the numbers come to you, and if you were looking for it or not, or paying attention or not. Usually when you're not paying attention and you're not looking for it, and then you think back to what you were just thinking about, or what was on your mind today, or like lately. Let's say you're worrying about money, or you're worrying about something, and you just keep seeing 222 everywhere. Your angels are trying to tell you everything's going to be okay. As far as 1-2 and 2-1, I would go and look. I don't know what T is for, but I would go and look up. Well, twos are everything's going to be okay. See, I've come up with a short meaning for each one of them. Summarized meaning for each one of the angel numbers from 0 to 9. 1, be mindful of your thoughts you're creating right now. 2, everything's going to be okay. So I would say T21, everything's going to be okay. Create it. T12, be mindful of your creation. Everything's going to be okay. Okay? That's all I can offer on that. Unless it has some kind of personal significance to you. Oh, crap. My God. I could be on here hours to all these comments. I'm way behind. All right, I do have to get going. Let me get up there and take that comment off. Do that one and take that one off. All right, there we go. That was easier. Okay. Something just happened. There we go. Okay. So in a nutshell, focus on your Christmas. Do whatever you have to do to get by. We need to function within the reality that we've already created. That's how you stay grounded. Right there. That's what that means. We aspire to be the best version of ourselves that we can, and we look forward in the future to create better tomorrows. Conscious creation. See it, say it, be it. That's like with me. If I'm going through a hard time, I got to have something shining in the distance. I got to have something to look forward to. You know, and then so something real within this reality to look forward to. Yes. I need that. Somebody rips that from me, I get pissed off. But something. Okay? But I also have to have some kind of ongoing, you want to call it a fantasy? Go ahead. I don't care. Some ongoing creation of a better tomorrow. The RV, the change of power, personal things in my life. We have to stop jumping back into worry and jump back into our conscious creation. Yes, we stay grounded within our reality. We understand what's going on now, what we have to do now, everything we have to take care of. And we don't slack on that because we got people depending on us, right? But it is okay to see that oasis in the future and keep building that brick by brick, as long as you stay centered here. And so when we get there, that becomes our reality. So we're always centered in our reality. We're just working on creating a better one. Okay? So let's not forget that. I do. It's something you have to keep going back to. Get all wrapped up in the realness and the ups and downs in this created reality that we're sitting in right now. And we forget. We forget to create a better one. But let's spend a little more time. We focus on Christmas season. But see that Christmas day. If that's what you're worried about. Oh my God, what if it's terrible? What if I can't do this? What if I can't do that? What if you can? What if it isn't terrible? What if it's lovely and peaceful? Just imagine that. Or hearing from that person. No, you can't control other people's actions and decisions with your thoughts or what you want. You might want to spend time or talk to a person and they're just way too busy for you. But that's all in your head. And that person probably has no idea that you talking to them is important to them. Or maybe that's the only shining thing they have that they're holding on to. And that you're holding on to, and that maybe that's your fault. But we can still see it, say it, be it, create the situation where this conflict, this worry that I have is no longer a worry. It's a joy. So we take our worries and our fears and everything and we flip them over and we turn them into joy. And we turn them into hope. So I'm kind of that person. I've always got to have something shining in the future looking, when I feel like I'm in a dark place, everything's, Dad would say, everything's going to shit. No, it's not. No, it's not. My mother would come in the room. No, because we've got this coming and that's going to be good. And so that's how I am. So my advice during this time is to remember to do that. It is what I came here to teach. At this point in time in my life, I believe so. Conscious creation, God-centered conscious creation. And it's so easy to forget to do it. But let's get back into practicing that, okay? All right. I love you all. Gotta get going. Have a great day. Bye.